Did you know that out of all the people that start doing self-improvement, only a small fraction of those guys actually are able to make significant progress? Let me tell you a quick story. I know a guy that started doing self-improvement a few years ago, and when I look at him today, I'm like, okay, yeah, he improved a bit, but he could be so much further in life if he just focused on one thing at a time that he wanted to improve and maintain the other at the other levels. Would you know something crazy? This guy is me. But ever since I realized that when you focus and pick one topic, one subject where you want to be really good at while maintaining the others at a personal good level, you can really improve to something that's way better than you could have expected by doing all the things at the same time. So the very first rule that you should have when doing self-improvement is don't do everything at the same time. Now that this is out of the way, let's go into how you can actually choose the thing that you want to improve at. And this video is going to be very practical, so please take a journal, a piece of paper, something to write on so that you can follow along with the steps that I'm going to give you. And by the end of this video, you should be able to actually choose the one thing you should absolutely work on right now. The first actionable step for you right now will be to write down the 4 pillars of self-improvement in 4 columns, 4 different columns. If you haven't seen my latest video about the 4 pillars of self-improvement, let me quickly explain to you how that works. So there are 4 main things that we can focus on categories where everything can fit on. So the first one will be relationship and family, so write it down right now. Second one is health, whether it's physical or mental health. The third one is financial success, and the last one is purpose. So write them down in 4 different columns so that we can fit all the different things inside of these columns later on by making them by categories. Once this is done, I want you to think for a moment, sit down, maybe meditate for 5 minutes, and ask yourself, what is the most urgent thing you have to do? And normally when I ask you this, of course, there's going to be many different things that come to mind. And I want you to write down under the column that this urgent thing will fit in, the exact thing. For example, if you believe that right now your mental health is shit, under health, just write need to improve mental health. If you believe your financial situation really sucks at the moment, under financial success, write make more money or build a business or whatever you feel is the urgent need. But this has to be something that you feel in your guts has to be done. Or for example, if you have no friends or you feel alone, maybe the relationship and family side, you can write something down there. Or if you feel like your life doesn't go anywhere, you're lost in your life, you don't know what to do, maybe write something under purpose. But I want you to write as many things that come to mind when you think about, okay, what's the most urgent things? What is something that I'm comfortable with? Writing down under the columns, and once this is done, that's when the interesting things start to happen. Once this is done, and I really want you to do them, so if you're watching this video right now not doing anything, pause it, write down all these things and come back to it. This is really important, otherwise you will never make any significant progress. So pause, do it, come back, because now the next step will be for you to grade all of these urgent things from 1 to 10. 10 being how urgent, how important, how meaningful it is for you. So the lower the number, the less important it is for you at the moment, because all of these urgent things are not equal, and you want to find the one that you're like, okay, as long as I don't improve this, the rest cannot be better. Most of the time, mental health is up there in the list, because your mental health is how you feel on a daily basis. So if you have a shitty mental health, it's really hard for you to focus on other things because you don't have the mental strength to do so. So most of the time, mental health would be one of the first priority if it's in your urgent list. If it's not, I want you to grade all of the others from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest of importance to you. What is the bottleneck, the thing that is keeping you from improving at all of these areas of your life? If you can't really grade them from 1 to 10 this way, maybe think about it on the other way. How miserable does that make you to not have this thing in your life? 1 being, I don't really care if it's not in my life, it's just something that I would like to have, but it doesn't bother me that much. 10 being like, this makes me miserable on a daily basis, I cannot do anything else, then this thing has to be the priority. Maybe if you grade it this way, maybe it works better for you. So now we have our first answer. Find the thing that is graded the highest. Once you find it, this is most likely one of the things that you should focus on. And if you find that some of the scores are actually equal, so if you have 2 number 8s, for example, you don't know how to choose between the 2. As I said before, if one is related to mental health and the other to something else, I would always prioritize mental health first, because at least for me and from my personal experience, mental health is a real bottleneck for a lot of people. And as long as this is not treated, you cannot go any further in life. This is like number one step, is getting your mental health in place. And you know, there are things that are more essentials than others. So sometimes if you grade something higher than something else, but then you're like, okay, maybe friends and family and relationship are really important for me. I feel really isolated, but at the same time, I want to build a business. You know, you really have to choose one. That doesn't mean that you cannot work at all on the other one. As I spoke about it on my other video about the 4 pillars of self-improvement, I want you to choose one thing that you put more than 50% of your time in, one of the pillars that has to be your priority. That doesn't mean that you don't work in the others. That's exactly the opposite, actually. I want you to work on all of these things at the same time, but one has to be the top priority, making it at least more than 50% of your time that goes into this. The other has to be worked on, of course. It has to be worked on, but very minimal, and you have to keep it at like the strict minimum of keeping it at, as I call it, the maintenance level. So it doesn't move up or down, it just stays pretty much in an okay place. But the real problem here is for you to sit down and write down these things. And I really want you to go deep into how you feel, and actually maybe sometimes journaling or doing a meditation just before doing this is a real good exercise for you to have a free mind that is just focused on this one exercise. And I really want you to do so because, you know, we're always doing something else at the same time, but I want you to focus on this, actually do the steps that I gave you today. And by the end of this video, I really hope that you are able to find the one thing, the one pillar, the one problem, the main issue of your life that has to be completely worked on right now, improve at the most you can, so that then you unlock other paths and other things you can work on in your life. And I can assure you, this is going to make you so much more happy in life. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you have issues with mental health and all of these problems, I have a quiz in the description that I want you to take. And otherwise, subscribe to the channel and take care. See you next time.